What's up, guys? Hope you're doing well. Just want to recap my week. Veggie Galaxy was great. Good to see Katelyn and Lily. Both of them went to my high school. Um, and Veggie Galaxy makes great food, a lot of options. Somewhat of a wait, but the portions are really great. No complaints there. And then Saturday I hung out with Joe, Caleb, Matt, Summer, and Toby. Um, they were all college friends of mine. Have a lot of good memories with them growing up in college. Um, we went to Dosa and Curry in Somerville. It worked out well. We had never been there. None of us had ever been there, but you can eat family style with Indian food. Um, and so it honestly it worked out really well, for a dinner in Boston, and all it came to $20 a piece. Um, so not bad at all for a filled stomach, when you're going out. We went to the Burren after. It's a little packed. They do live music, which is cool. It definitely seemed to be like a younger uh, 20s crowd. Maybe it probably had some tough students there because of its proximity to Tufts. So probably a lot of 21, 22, 23 year olds. Um, just based off of energy level, I felt that way. I might be totally wrong, but that's my thought. Um, then Sunday night did tea at Baldev, Rohit, and Will's place. Um, really, really good time. We kind of created a space to talk about life, our goals, our aspirations, what we struggle with, um, what we're trying to get out of, maybe the next couple of years. Um, some of the things that stood out to me were like the idea that thoughts are not facts, right? So, even though we might be thinking or self evaluating ourselves, um, that may not be true, right? I may I may feel, right, that I'm not interesting, but honestly, that's just the thought or opinion from my own brain. The reality might be that like everybody else thinks that I am interesting, in which case I have to realize that my thoughts about myself are not the actual facts of life. Um, I think self judgment, um, in your relationship with yourself, going off of that is so key. Um, I think just loving yourself is so important to the process of life and being your own biggest supporter, um, and making sure you're not overly critical. Um, Another thing, I feel like it's important to, challenge yourself when you get into bad cycles. I think when you get into, a bad mental health space, it can linger on, um, if you don't immediately challenge it, and if you don't immediately start like trying to challenge yourself to get out of it, you know. Um, and that's tough, but just going back to, your blessings, all that you do have, maybe, reaching out to friends or family, or professional resources immediately, or just taking a break, and um, you know not taking life too seriously, watching, something silly like a favorite a comedian or something like that, just to, get you out of that existential headspace, I think is important. And Overall, I just love the idea of having a space to talk and create vulnerable discussions. You're able to pass on knowledge that you have, and then other people are able to pass on knowledge that they have, and it just helps you reflect. And it's just nice to have a space where people acknowledge that there are things that they're insecure about. You don't get that in your day to day. Then I went dancing on Tuesday to Havana Club. Shout out to Simran for inviting me to that. Um, Dancing for me is something I don't have a background in, so it's always a great challenge. And I think Havana Club does a great job. They do a 1 hour lessons of like teaching you bachata and salsa, and then the rest of the hours you dance on the floor, and after every dance you change partners. Like it's a very I don't know. It's just a great atmosphere. I think for me that night, I was feeling really self conscious, and I think it's just one of those things where you have to challenge yourself to get out of that mental. Like if you um, feel insecure, or that's probably how you're gonna dance. And if you feel more confident, that's probably what your energy is gonna be like. Um, so yeah, no, I definitely recommend it. And then did the graduate Thanksgiving dinner at Babson. Um, that was good as well. Um, good to see community, and just I think Thanksgiving is always a good reminder of continuing to be grateful, and continuing to acknowledge the good, and the people that are there for you, and all the blessings that you do have. Shelter, running water, clean water, um, you know, having money in the bank, like all that stuff. Like it's just important to acknowledge, and acknowledge the good. Um, and yeah, I mean, I think um, you know weeks can get busy, but like I don't know, I'm learning to love it, and I'm learning to love everything that I'm doing, and I think that helps when you um, have the attitude of loving, um, the busyness, and being thankful, for having friends and stuff like that. I mean, it's just a different perspective and a different unlock. Um, I could sit here and talk about being tired, or I could sit here and talk about, I saw, I don't know, like 20 people this week. What a blessing that is. So, just feeling extremely grateful tonight, and I hope you're doing well as well. Thanks, guys.